What's up guys, we're back again and we got a nice Me Meatballs. So this is my take on it. Let's get straight into what's needed. So now you've had a rundown of the ingredients, let's get straight into the prep. So I'll start with the onion. So I'll just top and tail this, chop it in half. And then I'm just going to slice it, but you can dice it, it's completely optional. They're extremely strong. Promise I'm not crying. And then this is a pointed red pepper, but you can use a regular red pepper, any colour. I chose red because it's a bit sweeter. It's like a massive chilli, but it's absolutely not. I'll just discard of that bit. Garlic. With the garlic, you can keep it quite big. I like quite big chunks of garlic, but if you're not too much of a fan, you can just chop it down nice and small. And the same with the basil. So now the veggies are prepped, let's get into prepping the meatballs. So I'm going to start with a little bit of oil. This helps it from not being so sticky so it doesn't stick to your hands as much. We've got the breadcrumbs. 1 egg, half of your Italian herb, and keep the other half back for later. Half of your paprika. And then we're going to use 2 tablespoons of the pesto. And then just give this a good mix. Going to make sure the breadcrumbs and the eggs and everything's all fully combined because that'll help it stay formed. So now that's mixed, I'm just going to wash my hands, come back, and we get everything rolled up. So let's get on to making the meatballs. So you want these to be about a golf ball size. So you're looking around that sort of size. Try and keep them all the same size so that they cook evenly. So that's all done. Let me just get my hands washed and then we'll get on to the cooking. Now the meatballs are all rolled, let's get these cooked. So I'm just going to put the pan on. We're on a medium to high heat. Just going to put a drizzle of oil in. So now we'll start adding these in. Just try and give them a little bit of space in between each one so that they can cook properly and they don't just stick together. If you're placing these in by hand, just be very careful that you don't put your hands into the oil. What we can do is if there's too many meatballs to fit in at one pan at a time, we'll just cook them in batches. Don't worry if the meatballs stick to the pan slightly, just want to try and manoeuvre them around as safely as possible because all the flavour from the meatballs will be able to go into the sauce later. So now they've got a nice sear on it, as you can see it's got a nice crust so that it'll help it form together for when we add the sauce. I'm just going to set these aside and then we're going to use all the flavour from the bottom of the pan to make the sauce. Let's get the onions into all that flavour, so add those in. As you can see, all the flavour is being released into the onions. So you just want to cook them for around 2 to 3 minutes, which I have done, so I'm just going to add in the peppers. And then cook them for around 2 to 3 minutes, then we'll add in the garlic. As you can see, they're getting nice and soft. You don't want them to be too soft. When you cook it in the sauce, you want it to release its flavour into that as well. You want to have some form of texture. Now I'll add in the garlic. So what I've done is, because you can see it started to catch at the bottom, so I've just added a little tiny touch of water and it'll help deglaze the pan. So I'm happy with how soft the veggies are, so we're going to add in the cream. This is probably my favourite bit. So we're adding the rest of the pesto, rest of the paprika, the rest of your dried Italian herb, let's give that a good mix and let that cook out for a little bit. Just going to add in the sun-dried tomatoes. You'll see there's a little bit of oil in it that was in the jar, but it's absolutely fine if you get a little bit in it. Just try not to get it all in. So let's add these meatballs back into it. So you'll see that meatballs might not be fully cooked, but when it goes back into the sauce, it's going to cook right the way through. And you just give this a nice mix. Just be very careful that you don't break up all the meatballs. So now that everything's all coated, we just want to put the lid on. I've turned the temperature down and you just want to leave that to simmer for a little bit. So that looks about right. So what you want to do is leave that to cook for around, I think I left it for around 15 to 20 minutes. Just make sure that you're moving them around and checking that they're not catching at the bottom. So I'm going to add in the basil, the zest of a lemon, and then the parmesan. There we have it, marry me meatballs. You're going to want to marry me. Enjoy. There we go.